This hour and a half that we have, we're going to be understanding why this is so important and how does that relate to conducting. So this is one of the points I want to talk about. The second one has to do with the pattern. The majority of the composers, the majority of the conductors in the world consider gestures of patterns as the ultimate goal for conducting. In other words, if I conduct a pattern, I am a conductor. And to a certain extent, that is true. It is absolutely true. You could grab any piece of music and just go from beginning to end and conduct the patterns, and you would be fulfilling the most important mission of the conductor, which is keeping everybody together. It's fine. But at that point, you are nothing more than just an elaborate and very expensive metronome. That's all you are. See, but we have to understand that our role has to be more than just keeping time. We have to make a difference. We have to understand this is very important. If you're not making a difference in front of an ensemble, you are just an expensive metronome. Mind you, a mechanical metronome might be more exact, more precise. So if you're not making a difference, you're not even as good as the best metronome. You see what I'm saying? So we have to understand that in preparation process, we are trying to make a difference in front of the ensemble. Otherwise, we're in the way of the ensemble. Just pack your bags. Just sit down in the audience, man, and listen to what they can do, because they could do it without you. Easy enough, right? This doesn't mean that now we have to go to lengths of creating something so elaborate and so capricious that you can now say, oh, I'm making a difference. But why are you making a difference? Because you want to be noted, or because we are at the service of the music, which goes full circle to what we were talking beforehand. We are preparing to conduct music. We are serving the music. Thus, we need to understand what the music needs so we can make a difference through that. You see what I'm saying? Oh. Any questions so far? It's okay to say I have no idea what you're talking about. You guys okay? Okay. So, how does that work? Well, one of the things that you need to understand is that the patterns are units that allow you to control time, but should not be units that imprison you. Okay? In other words, patterns are rules, and the cool thing about the rules is that we study them so we can break them appropriately. We need to break the rules. The rules are there to be manipulated. You grab them when you really need them, and when you don't need them, you let go of them. And it's that process that nobody does. Very few people do. It is okay to conduct without patterns, but you need to be able to conduct with patterns whenever you need to. You see? It's like writing, composing. You need to understand the rules of composition so you can break the rules. And then when you need them, you grab them. You see? You have to know them very well so you can let go of them. Good. So, I brought some music for us to think about what I'm talking about. So, let's sing a little bit. There's one for each one of you. Well, there's just a bunch there. So, let's sing a little bit. Enough of a lecture. Let's do some music.
I can be an alto as well. So.
How many of you know this piece? Good. So we're not just sight reading.
Oh, sorry. I'm driving.
Any more?
No, I'm just having paper issues. Here you go. So many.
One more.
Are you here?
One more?
I think second soprano.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause okay. Whatever, you can sing whatever, I'll just be
All right,
outdoors for today.
let's sing.
Just so we'll be more even.
We have a balanced choir, right? More or less?
Because then I'll be
Alright,
flying
here we go.
that way.
What is the pulse? What is the top twos? The quarter note, the eighth note, the half note, the whole note? The half note. Very good. Here we go. Ready, go. So, I will conduct. Ready? Why do you need me to conduct? What was happening without any conductor? What were we doing?
Time was kind of off.
We were reading, yes, but we were going slower and slower and slower. Right? Alright, let's start again. Here we go. Good. What did I do in the conducting process? Anybody?
Consistent.
I'm sorry?
Consistent.
Tempo. Yeah. What did I do with my hand? What did I show you? The tempo was organized into what? Into patterns. That's all I did. Alright? So essentially I counted 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3 without saying a word. That's all I did. Did we sing? Fine. Yeah? Okay. What else can I do with my gesture to generate a different result? Any ideas?
Well, first thing that, just like this addition, is that measure 13, where there's a cut symbol, you may have been able to have given a bigger rebound for us to go faster if that's what you'd wanted, whereas in an ensemble we might not have felt that without your help.
Okay, but we're not singing measure 13. We sang until 12.
Bringing out like the parts that like kind of have like the
Very
like
good. What does that? I agree.
Bringing out the.
What are you doing there? You're playing with the balance, right? Right. So you're essentially. How many of you have done studio work, like recording? Okay. After you record something, you go to the studio, you master it. You know what that means? Just bring some things out, right? You add a little bit here, a little bit of reverb here, but essentially you're bringing out the violins, and then just pull the violins back and bring the I don't know, the congas. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do. This is one of the functions of the conductor. So, the only way for you to do that is to have a preconceived idea of which are the lines that you want to hear more and when. What are your thoughts? What should we do? Should we just stick with the sopranos? Any ideas? Come, let's just go through it. It's about 12 measures. What do we do at the very beginning? Who do you want to hear more?
Alto.
Why?
When the alto is moved, it's
Oh,
kind of-
by the way, in conducting, the best question, the best one, is why. Okay? Everything you decide has to have a purpose. So every time you want to do something, you have to ask why. If you don't have a question, if you don't have an answer, you're in trouble. Okay? So, why do you want to bring the altos out? I disagree. But why would you?
The moving 16.
Okay, but that's not the very beginning.
I see. Oh, okay. Well, I
That's right.
figured that's okay.
Probably do soprano then alto.
Why?
Because it's the melody.
Very good. So we bring the,
So
we
people
establish
wanna
the melody.
recognize the, I mean, they don't care about the inner parts in the beginning.
Exactly. So what happens then when we sing it again on 5? I'm sorry. Well, yeah, on 5. What happens on 5? The basses come in, right?
Yeah.
So we have a different sound all of a sudden, right? Just by contrast, we're going to be able to hear it, but you can bring it out and make sure that everybody hears it, right? Very good. What happens, for example, on measure 4?
Suspension.
Very good. Who has a suspension?
Altos.
The altos. That's my favorite Renaissance resource. Yeah, just bring it out because it has that kind of spirit. Okay, let's conduct 4 measures, only thinking of balance, of mastering the sound. Okay, let's try. Here we go. Yeah, everybody sings. Okay. Alright, and if you have the altos in one place, you can look at all the altos. If you have them all mixed, you look at one alto. Okay? Yeah?
All of them are the same.
But it's by your gesture emphasizing the suspension that the altos are going to connect to that idea and understand that they have to just give you a little bit more. If they don't, you coach and you say, I would like to hear a little bit more. Cool? Okay. What else can I do in 4 measures with my gesture? Now I'm giving you tempo, I'm giving you pattern, and I'm giving you balance. Right? What else?
Word stress.
Word stress. So what do you mean by that?
In most languages, there are some syllables that are louder when you speak them
Right?
than the other syllables in the same sentence.
I would say in all the languages. Unless it's computer. Right? But yes, you're right. So, but that gives you what? Word stress gives you what in music?
Emphasis.
Yes, stress, emphasis, but it gives you what?
Accents.
Yes, that's emphasis. Phrase. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay? So, why is phrase different than accent? Why is phrase different than stress? Because it's a full structure, right? And if you want to stress something, you prepare to stress it, and then after you have done so, you release the energy, right? It's the same principle of understanding where, I don't know, the top of the hill is. You won't recognize where the top of the hill is if you don't have 2 lower lands or valleys surrounding it, because otherwise it's all high or all low. It doesn't matter, right? Okay, so what do you think the phrase should be? You're very musical, you guys. What is the first mini phrase? Il bianco e dolce cielo cantando more. Okay, so we have 2 points in which we really want to go to, right? Very good. So now my gesture, in order to become musical, is not only tempo-oriented or gesture-oriented, is now phrasing-oriented, and by watching the sections, I can manipulate the overall balance of the presence of the of each section. Okay, I call that like the geography, right? Because I bring something out and then I pull it back and bring something else. It's kind of a physical topography, if you want to call it something. All right, so let's try it again. Here we go. Very good. So how do you create phrasings? I'll do it again, just watch it. Ready? What do I do with it? What am I doing with the gesture? I'm manipulating it, but how do I do it?
It's an ebb and flow.
Okay, but physically, what am I doing to it?
Bigger.
Big, small,
Big,
what